in the party, get lit. We ain't tripping if you ain't. We came in the vibe, not to care about what you think. Ooh, yeah, my niggas stay ready for a case. If you come in with the drummer, yo, ass is out of
What's poppin'? What's poppin', y'all? You are listening to the tour on the Sister Speak show. I am your host, Sister Speak. The tour is where we cover all aspects of the music industry. The Sister Speak show is where contemporary meets vision, sound, action, a talk show for great minds that create, inspire, impact, and evolve. Sister, spiritual inspiration shared through the arts. Sister, spiritual inspiration shared through Ayana. But you better call me Sister Speak. What's happening, tribe? How y'all doing? I hope everything is well with your soul. I want to welcome all of my first-time listeners and all of my faithful listeners. I thank you all for downloading and listening to the Sister Speak show. I want to send a shout out to California, to Fremont. I want to send a shout out to Dallas, Newboro, New York, Virginia, Canada, Philly. I want to send a shout out to Ghana, Nambia, Tanzania, France, Ghana. Who else? Oh my goodness, you guys are listening, and I really appreciate you all so much for your downloads. I do not want you to think I don't see you. I see you. So since I don't know your names, I'm just giving you a shout out where you live, and you'll know who I'm talking to. So I really appreciate you all. You know what I'm saying? So thank you so much. Thank you so much. Tonight's episode, well, first of all, let me welcome my first-time listeners in totality. Check this in. I know that you're tuning in because you saw the advertisement. You see what this episode is about. You're like, wait a minute, this is something that I could really get into. This is something that I'm interested in. I'm aware of these faces. Some faces you may not be aware of, but I got you on that as well. But I know you are intrigued. Tonight's episode is rated R for strong language, thoughts, and ideas. The entire network is rated R for strong language, thoughts, and ideas. That's your first and last warning. You'll know what I'm talking about as we progress into tonight's episode. Now, check this out. All of my listeners, these are the two requirements. This is the prerequisite in order for you to get into the show. You cannot get into the show or even into the village without these two things because you're not going to make it. Trust and believe. I go hard in the paint, and the village is serious. And what I do is real, so I need to prepare you. You're going to need water, and you're going to need scuba gear. Water, because that is your healing power. That is your gasoline. How do you go without gas? How do you make it? What does your car run on? Gasoline. It's either going to be 87, 89, 91, or you're on diesel like I am. Either way, your car is not going to make it on Kool-Aid, soda, Gatorade. Nah, it needs petroleum. It needs that gas. And just likewise, your body needs water. 95% of your body is made up of water. Every single organ in your body needs water, okay? Now, because we don't want you to be drained. And number two, scuba gear, because we dive deep on the Sister Speak show. I'm just telling you straight up. We go into levels and depths that you have to have a self-contained underwater breathing apparatus in order to keep up. And I don't want you to get lost in the ocean. Can you imagine? Lost at sea? We don't want that to happen. So that's what you're going to need when you're listening to the Sister Speak show. I thank you so much. So we can go ahead and get our water. And let's go ahead and say joy as we drink our water. That's our way of saying cheers. It's so imperative that you love water. So imperative. Like, you cannot be my man if you don't like water. That is just a fact. Because if you don't like water, that means you don't like to bathe. I'm just going that far into it. Anyway, brothers and sisters, check this out. Tonight's episode on the tour, where we do cover all aspects of the music industry. 5 minutes before. A cautionary tale. high profile murders and deaths in the music industry. Look at that. Sounds a little deaths in the music industry, okay? 5 minutes before a cautionary tale. High profile murders and deaths in the music industry. Oh, it's a heavy. What the freak? It's heavy. Heaby. Just forget it. I'd like to buy a word. What word would that be? Heavy. It seems to be that particularly on the tour is where I'm always having to buy a word. It's just like I say it and it's like that's not the that's not the word. That's not how you say it. That's what is that? Is that the remix? Is that it's like the word is in a cocoon and it wants to be a word. It wants to be heavy, but right now it's just heavy. Shit. Have you had your little heavy cakes? How heavy are you? How heavy is it? What the fuck is heavy? Oh my gosh, that is beyond the right way to say it. It's just really not the right way to say it. But anyway, we're going to have a good time. We're going to have a serious time. And this episode, like all episodes, is under the Fair Use Act of 1976, Section 107, where this is for educational purposes only, entertainment purposes only, to raise awareness about, the music industry, fame, fame, and also what a high profile death is, and how these deaths or murders affect many, many. And it also creates an awakening about the music industry, about your circle, about your gifts, and about time, okay? And about the war between good and evil, about spiritual warfare. If you listen to music blindly, deafly, without having your mind open and being cognizant of what is what is actually going on, you could fall victim to what the intentions are, to influence you into a low vibration, to keep you in a low vibration, to have you enter into something that you are really not aware of what you're entering into, and it being a battle for many who have actually entered at their own risk. And the documentary of their careers and the highs and the lows, the highlight reel, if you will, of their life. And then you find out these details that are so intriguing and that make up the missing pieces of their lives. And that's where you begin to see things on a different level. You're like, wait a minute. Okay, something is definitely dark. Something is definitely demonic. Something is definitely satanic. Something is definitely at a low vibration. Something is creating a negative vibration, and it is actually creating a trance, almost like a hypnosis for people. And we cannot ever in life have a conversation about this specific topic and fail to mention who is the master in this, okay? Lowercase master, but yet and still, who is the one? It's the dark one. It's Lucifer. It is the devil himself, okay? We're not going to pussyfoot around this. We're not going to bullshit. If you don't like to hear this type of conversation, this is not the talk show for you. I give zero fucks about it because you're probably tapped into the dark side. And when wisdom screams at you, you cover your ears. You cover your eyes. You turn the lights off and say no one's home because you don't want to come out of your fairy tale You don't want to come out of your hypnosis and see things for how they are. And that way, if you do decide not to see how things are, really are, okay, actually are, then you leave yourself open and vulnerable for these vibrations to attack you, for you to promote darkness instead of the marvelous light. You become an agent for that darkness, not an agent for the light, the marvelous light. You become an op. And see, in the street world and even in the music world, with this entire word of op, you don't know what it is to really be an op until you have declared that you are an op of the Most High Gods. And Yah, when you have said, this is my allegiance is to this dark vibration. My allegiance is to these dark productions, these dark chords, this dark influence. My allegiance is to these specific rap celebrities that you see it. You see the signs, you see the allegiance, you see the colors, you see all of this. And yet you still say, fuck it, I'm rocking with them anyway. And all of us have been blind, and some of us still are, and deaf to what was right before our eyes, okay? So it's not to just necessarily beat you over the head, but it is to say, I don't fuck with people who fuck with the dark shit. You need to know that about me off the rip. That dark shit, I don't fuck with. I don't like it. I don't entertain it. I don't play with the devil. I am an enemy of his because he does not like me. And he goes around seeking to kill and destroy many people. Lucifer did not want to bow down to the Most High God. And yeah, he did not. He wanted to be that. He wanted to be God. And when you want that, you get your ass kicked. And you get kicked out. Play with him if you want to. That was a swift ass kicking. Booted. Immediately. Gone. Shot down like lightning. Quick, fast. In a hurry, you're not welcome here. You can never come back here. How dare you betray me? How dare you do me like this? How dare you be one of the most beautiful angels? How dare you sit here and be the leader of music, and then you sit here and say you want to be me? As if your position wasn't good enough? See, the devil didn't know how to stay in his lane. He was insane. Lucifer was insane. And then he led a revolt. And a third of the angels fell out with him. My gosh. My goodness. And where do you think they are now? What do you think they do now? Do you think he still doesn't do music? Oh, he does music. He just doesn't do the music that he used to do. He doesn't have the ability to do it. It is almost as if being stripped. You know, it's like you come home and all your music equipment has been stolen. It is stolen. Your entire studio has been robbed. There's nothing there for you to produce anything with. And you got to start from scratch. But you're so angry about it that you got a stench about you, a foul odor about you. And then now here you are roaming this earth seeking to destroy. And you can't tell me that there is not music out there that does not do that. That there are not energies out there. Dark energies at that. You see it, I hope. Because if you don't, then you're in trouble. And you've been in trouble. I'm not going to sugarcoat shit tonight. I'm warning you all in advance. It's only going to get tougher from here. Because WTF, WTF, WTF when it comes to the high-profile murders and deaths. When it comes to our brothers and sisters who are from the village, okay, with many gifts, many, taking their gifts and they're not using it for the right vibration. Look what has the potential to manifest and does manifest. These dark, chaotic energies, beef, street beef that goes into the studio, talking about the shit that you've done in the studio, recording it, releasing it, dummies, okay? Listening to it, getting mad, inciting the violence, riding through the neighborhood, blasting the ops music, all kind of just beef. Then wanting to end someone's life, ending someone's life, robbing someone, drugging them, always providing for their high, knowing that the artist has an addiction and the addiction is making them stay in a low vibration, but still getting them to the studio because there's a deal on the table. There's a contract that's been signed. There's this, there's that. It's wicked. It's wicked. You need to listen to some of my previous episodes of the tour to understand my position in the stance. This music game is not a joke. Some people want to actually get into the music business, and you really don't want to do this. You really don't want to do it. And the moment you do, you're going to become frustrated because shit ain't moving for you the way you want it to. Shit ain't streaming for you the way you want it to. You're not popping the way you thought you were. It's not really happening. And because it's not really happening and it's not going to happen, 9 times out of 10, you got to end up hanging it up. But before you end up hanging it up, some of you may actually tap into the black magic, the spell work, and the voodoo to get your shit to pop. Cheater. That makes you a loser. That makes you remedial. That makes you forceful, aggressive, not accepting a block when you get one, trying to go around the wall, trying to climb the wall, trying to do whatever you do to get to this industry because you think your shit needs to be heard, and it really doesn't, but you think it does, and here it is. You're willing to take these dumbass steps, and now you're over here doing some stupid shit to get their attention. How do you want it? How does it feel? Do you not see the documentaries? Do you not get on various social media platforms that provide documentaries and docuseries and various, there's so much curriculum out there that gives you several woes and warnings and sirens, and yet and still you're like, no, I'm going to walk right into the monsoon. No, I don't give a fuck about a monsoon. I'm going to walk right into the tornado. I'm going to let it swirl my ass all around town. I don't care. No, I don't care. I'm going to stand in the middle of the fault line while we're in the middle of an earthquake. I don't care about this earthquake. What fire? I don't care about this wildfire that I'm standing in the middle of getting burned up in. What? What fire? That's you. What tsunami? Oh, that thing right there? I know how to swim. What alligator, what shark, what bear, what mountain lion? Where is your sense of danger? That's not lava. That's just lava. Like dumb shit. That's, this is going somewhere tonight. This is going to be a serious episode. Brothers and sisters, I got a couple commercial breaks that I'm going to take. I thank you for being a wonderful listening audience. We're just getting started. I'm excited. We're going to play these clips that are for educational purposes only, to raise awareness about 5 minutes before. Why did I name it 5 minutes before? I'll tell you right after these commercial breaks, and we're going to get into it. Thank you for being a wonderful listening audience.
Sometimes you don't even know what you're getting yourself into. All you know is that you have to have it, and you have to have it right now. The latest episode of the Suspense Files on the Sister Speak Show is available on demand now. On this episode, we're covering sex and murder, sleeping with the setup chick. Rated R for strong content and language. On the Suspense File, we cover the who, the what, the when, the where, and the why in urban crime. From crimes of passion, deadly relationships, mysteries, and urban cold cases, and more. You won't be disappointed. On the Sister Speak Show, where contemporary meets vision, sound, and action, a talk show for great minds that create, inspire, impact, and evolve. Click the link for the latest episode. and be careful. There won't be any more warnings. That's why your heart is beating fast. He's out there again. You can see him from the stage. He's obsessed with you. That's why he's taking your pictures. You're his fantasy. The latest episode of the Suspense Files on the Sister Speak Show is available on demand now, rated R for strong content, language, and thoughts. On this episode, fantasies and felonies. Strip club killers. On the Suspense Files, we cover the who, what, when, where, why in urban crime, including crimes of passion, deadly relationships, mysteries, urban cold cases, and more. Click the link for the latest episode of the Sister Speak Show, where contemporary meets vision, sound, and action, a talk show for great minds that create, inspire, impact, and evolve. Be careful. Try not to fall in love with a stripper. You just took playing That's My Car to a whole nother level. The latest episode of the Tour on the Sister Speak Show is available on demand now. Rated R for strong content, language, and thoughts. On this episode, jacking for more than beats, the effects of GTA and rap music, confessing to crimes over beats, lyrics leading to arrest. On the tour, we're covering all aspects of the music industry, including interviews with musicians, managers, songwriters, producers, music groups, DJs, and exclusive music and concert reviews. Either you're playing the video game or the video game is playing you. Click the link for the latest episode on the Sister Speak Show, where contemporary meets vision, sound, and action, a talk show for great minds that create, inspire, impact, and evolve.
Welcome back. You are listening to The Tour, where we cover all aspects of the music industry. I am your host, Sister Speak. The reason why I chose to name this episode a cautionary tale, because that's exactly what it is. It's a cautionary tale. You listen and you learn. I felt like I provided enough curriculum for tonight's episode for you to learn about what a cautionary tale, let me turn this on. What a cautionary tale is. 5 minutes before, I want you to think about this before I play these news clips. 5 minutes before, what was happening 5 minutes before these murders and these deaths? What was taking place? What was the energy? What was the circumstances? What is the truth? What's the truth? Not what so much is said. Now, said is not excluded, because there are people who do know. There is somebody who does know the key answers. The answers. Don't ever think that somebody does not. And that's secondary information. The Most High God knows all. His eyes are 10,000 times brighter than the sun. No one ever escapes what they're doing. You need to know that. The coldest part about the game that the devil runs on anybody is that he's playing you at all times. Don't ever think for a second he's loyal and that he will be faithful to you, that he gives a fuck about you. No, you are an enemy, and he will use you if you are available. Now, there's nothing wrong with being used, but there's a problem with being abused. There's a problem with being misused, okay? Despitefully used. But there's nothing wrong with being righteously used. Understand that. Now, 5 minutes before, what was going on in the lives of these artists who I'm about to, play these clips about? What was happening? I want you to actually put your mind in the position, if you can, of what do you feel was happening before? Did they see it coming? Did they have a feeling? Did they have dreams? Did they have some type of internal warning, okay, that something was off? Did they get a weird vibe from someone in the camp? Did their manager seem shady? What was the environment? Did they have beef in the streets? Did they have beef in the sheets? Did they have beef in the studio? What was going on? Did they have inner demons? We don't know what the actual drug use. There's so many different things. What led to this death? What led to this murder? High profile because they're a celebrity, because sometimes the feds get involved, because they have notoriety, status, because they are a millionaire, because they have been seen in the limelight, in the spotlight. They have been snapped by paparazzi. Their name is, for the most part, a household name, an international name. And so therefore it does bring what is called a high profile observance to the case, a high profile, how would I say it, a high profile attention to the case. And because there are higher officials that sometimes get involved in the murder investigation, okay? And because sometimes there are links to links to links to links that you will find an ecosystem that is uncovered in this specific murder, okay, or death. Now we're going to get into it. I thank you for being a wonderful listening audience. I had to hit pause. I had to cough, and plus my neighbors came outside. It's cold out here, y'all. And I heard my neighbors say, y'all got me out here shaking like a popsicle. Because it's burr. Okay, it's burr. It's get to your car quickly. It is, if you got anything to say to me, text me, call me. We ain't finna talk about shit outside. I need to get in my car and hopefully the shit will start. Battery. This is a season where your battery is letting you know it's time to get replaced. Jumper cables, all of that. It's real in the field. Anyway, we're going to stay on topic, brothers and sisters. I thank you for being a wonderful listening audience. We're going to get into this, okay? Tonight's episode, a cautionary tale 5 minutes before high-profile murders and deaths in the music industry. I'll see you on the other side of these clips. I may have some reactions, probably not, but we're going to go ahead and get into it. I thank you. I really appreciate y'all. Y'all mean so much to me. You know that, right? Don't go anywhere. I mean it. You better stay right here with me because we are podcasting and chilling tonight. Thank you for letting me be the flavor in your ear and for adding this episode to your podcast shuffle. I'm Sister Speak. How you doing today?
He couldn't survive a second. Rap star Tupac Shakur died last night after a brief life in a rough business. He was 25. Here's NBC's Stan Bernard.
You know they got me trapped in this prison of seclusion.
Tupac Shakur rode to fame and riches on his often violent vision of life in the inner city. That vision turned out to be prophetic. His own death from multiple gunshot wounds. And his devoted fans who believed his rap litany mirrored their lives are mourning.
I like rappers who are gonna say what they have to say. You know, I really like that. He didn't hold nothing back, he didn't bite his tongue. But like I said, Tupac took things a little bit too far. And that could be the reason why he is where he is right now.
For many, Shakur's reputation as a gifted rap artist was more important than his history, his rap sheet. When he was shot in this car in Las Vegas, he was out on bail while appealing a 4.5-year sentence for sexual assault. And he had been shot before when someone, he said, tried to rob him. But Shakur, who was also an actor, said in a recent interview, the harsh realities of his life made him different from other performers.
No one alive, I think, with sanity has as much life experience to draw from. And I think that's the only thing that breaks me apart from the pack.
And his early death underlines another terrible reality, the early mortality of black men.
A lot of us are still trying to figure out who we are, and when you have to try to figure out who you are inside of a public limelight the way he did, it's very, very difficult.
It seems the rain will never let up. I try to keep my head up and still keep from getting wetter.
Tupac Shakur, perhaps personified by the words thug life tattooed on his stomach, said his success was due to his life and his career being so closely intertwined. Stan Bernard, NBC News, New York.
Keefe D and his entourage get into a white Cadillac. Along with Keefe D, the driver is a guy named Terrence Brown. They call him Bubble Up. Behind the driver is DeAndre Smith. He's in the left rear passenger seat. And Keefe D's nephew, Orlando Anderson, he's sitting behind the right front passenger seat. All Southside Crips.
The homie said the Death Row guys were going to have a concert at the 662 Club. So we went to the 662 Club.
I ran the door at the 662. I seen Orlando and them when they pulled up in the Cadillac. And I told my homies, Southside's up here. My homies that was at 662, everybody had their guns. We knew it was going to be something. They said about 5 minutes.
Tupac and Suge, they didn't ever show up, so we left.
Keefe D and crew go back towards the strip.
Stopped and got some liquor. We was gonna party and shit. Had our little drinks.
Meanwhile, Tupac and Suge are driving towards the 662 Club. Behind them, there are some girls screaming, Tupac, Tupac.
We came up Harlem, and shit, here he coming at BMW. All the chicks was like, Tupac, Tupac, and he was like, hey, like a celebrity, like he was in the parade. He wouldn't even been out the window. We would have never seen him. My partner busted you. When we pulled up, I was in the front seat. Happened to see my friend, Chubb.
Suge looks over, he sees you.
Yeah.
He looks right at you.
Yeah, he looked at me.
You said the shots came from the back. Big Dre, Orlando. Who shot Tupac?
To keep it for the code of the streets. It just came from the back seat, bro.
Los Angeles. The 24-year-old rapper, whose real name is Christopher Wallace, lived in Raleigh in the 1980s.
FBI agents are looking for a man they say could be. Both communities are mourning the death of the rapper known as Notorious B.I.G. Good evening, everyone. I'm Linda Laverne. Miriam is off tonight.
He was only 24 years old, was just starting what was expected to be a promising career in music. But tonight, it's only what could have been. Los Angeles police are investigating the shooting death of rapper Notorious B.I.G., also known as Biggie Smalls. He was gunned down early today. The rap star, whose real name is Christopher Wallace, had just left a Soul Train Awards party and was sitting in his car when a vehicle drove by and someone opened fire.
Biggie was going to his car, and we heard the shots rang out. Everyone started running, but at the time we didn't know that it was Biggie that got shot.
Wallace was pronounced dead after being rushed to a nearby hospital. So far, police say they have no suspects.
Well, Biggie Smalls' legacy will be one of what might have been. His promising music career started right here on the streets of New York.
It's gonna be a lot of slow singing, the flower bringing.
Notorious B.I.G. built his gangster rap image on his own background, using his past as an ex-crack dealer from Brooklyn's Bedford-Stuyvesant neighborhood. His first album, ironically titled Ready to Die, sold more than 1 million copies. He was chosen Rap Artist of the Year in 1995, but his life also included trouble with the law. In March, he was arrested for allegedly beating fans outside an East Village nightclub. In July, he was charged with weapons and marijuana possession. Yet his records meant a lot to his fans. Residents of his home neighborhood of Bedford-Stuyvesant remembered his work today.
I liked his music because he never, lied about his lyrics. He always came, spoke from his heart. He just kept it real. He represented the real world. The stuff he talked about, it happened in the real world, Maybe not as much as he said it, but it really happened,
Wallace's climb to fame led to a rivalry with rapper Tupac Shakur, who was also gunned down 6 months ago. Los Angeles police are investigating rumors that a feud between East Coast and West Coast rappers led to the two shootings. But one of Wallace's friends says the rivalry was more in their music, not something that could escalate to violence.
I would say it was beginning to escalate over the last couple of years into a more personal rivalry, but in a larger sense, historically, I would say it was more of an aesthetic rivalry that was, dealt with more on record as far as the songs.
Notorious B.I.G.'s second album is due in stores on March 25th. It's titled Life After Death, Till Death Do Us Part.
In other news...
The plane crash that killed a rising star in the world of music and film. Reaction today after Aaliyah and 8 others were killed when their plane went down. Good evening, I'm Lauren Glassbergen for Sandra Bookman.
And I'm Tim Fleischer. The plane, just after taking off for Florida in perfect weather, suddenly plummeted to the ground. Investigators now saying one of the engines apparently failed. Along with 8 passengers, Aaliyah, a young Brooklyn native and a talented singer and actress. Jeff Roston is live in Times Square with more on her life. Jeff.
And Aaliyah had a huge following, not only here in New York City, but nationwide. Only 22 years old, this pop sensation was a popular singer. She was an actress in some movies recently, even a Grammy nominee. Tonight, her family is in mourning. Fans asking, why her? Relatives in shock outside Aaliyah's home on the Upper West Side. The R&B star lived here at the Century, Central Park West and 63rd. She was on a small plane heading to Florida from the Bahamas, where she was shooting a music video.
Sweetest person you can know. Very intelligent. She knew what she was about, and she knew what she wanted to do with her life.
Aaliyah's life started here in New York City, born in Bed-Stuy, Brooklyn. But as a child, she moved to Detroit, where friends today remembered this young star.
Aaliyah was my best friend. She was a beautiful person on the inside and out. And, I'm just shocked.
Aaliyah's hits include Back and Forth and At Your Best. She acted in the movie Romeo Must Die and was slated to appear in sequels to The Matrix. But her life, her dreams, were taken away. On board the doomed Cessna, Aaliyah and 8 others, including a representative for Virgin Records and a makeup artist. Investigators say one of the engines apparently failed. They crashed just short of a runway on Abaco Island. Members of her dance team arrived safely on a different plane.
She's a beautiful person inside and out, and we're going to all miss her deeply.
She will greatly be missed. You know, she had a great impact on many lives, and it was a great experience to share that time.
The family, too hurt to speak on camera, but released this statement. Aaliyah's family is devastated at the loss of their loving daughter and sister. Their hearts go out to those families who also lost their loved ones in this tragic accident. Fans at the Virgin Megastore in Times Square say Aaliyah was a role model.
She had it going with her music, her acting career. She had a lot going for a young girl with a lot of potential.
This is another mark of the crash, live from Times Square, a billboard for Aaliyah's new album, but you can see when Virgin Records heard about the accident today, they covered it right up. The bodies right now are in the Bahamas for family identification. We're live tonight in Times Square. Jeff Ross and ABC 7 Eyewitness News.
Late Atlanta native Lisa Left Eye Lopez from the band TLC are in for a treat this month. There's a play that's going to celebrate her life, and it's coming to Midtown.
Astrid and the ATL with the details tonight on how you can watch and then help that project get some national exposure. Astrid.
That's right, Thomas and Sean. Lisa Left Eye was inspiring to many people, and her death at only 30 years old left many of her fans brokenhearted. But this play hopes to continue the legacy of this Atlanta icon.
Lisa Lopez was better known to her fans as Left Eye, making up 1/3 of the world's most famous popular girl group, TLC, with hits like Creep, Unpretty, and No Scrubs.
I don't want no scrub. A scrub is a guy that can't get no love from me.
Unfortunately, this Atlanta star's life was cut short in 2002 when Lopez died in a car accident while on vacation in Honduras. Fans haven't forgotten the rapper, and now one actress is celebrating Lisa's life with a one-woman monologue play hitting the Synchronicity Theater stage.
Hi, I'm Carice Hutchinson, and I'm here to tell you about my passion project, To the Left, a tribute to the life of Lisa Left Eye Lopez.
The play is an inspiring music-filled multimedia production written and directed by Carice Hutchinson, who many actually say looks like the late rapper. The show chronicles the life and spiritual journey of the Atlanta rap icon.
We are ready to bring it to Atlanta. We have our dates set. Everything is done. But there's something missing. And that's where you come in.
The one-woman play also shows the challenges that Lisa encountered as she embarked on a journey to find her artistic voice and spiritual purpose. The show has received the approval from Lisa's family, her younger brother, Ronald Lopez.
gave Carice a little challenge. She didn't know it was a test. Told her, it's like, well, if you want to do anything on Lisa, you need to come to Honduras. And to my surprise, she was down there, like a month later, visiting Usha, where Lisa took her herbs at, where she met Dr. Sebi at, and experiencing some of the things that Lisa experienced.
After walking in Lisa's shoes, Carice is now ready to tell the star's story and hopefully take the show across the country.
So the play is called To the Left, a tribute to Lisa Left Eye Lopez, and it's currently playing at Synchronicity Theater for a limited time until August 1st. The crew is hoping that you go watch, and with that you help, find hopefully a national project and make it to Broadway.
Blossom from there.
Yeah.
The resemblance is really strong.
Absolutely. Everyone always told her that. That's what she said, teachers, and just when she was in acting class, so she felt like it was her calling to put this monologue, one-woman show together. Well, I'm going to mark my calendar. August the 11th is going to be at this... Well, from now through August the 11th, so you can go anytime. Anytime. Okay, well, I'm excited. I'm still a big fan. Yeah, you love No Scrubs and sing it at karaoke. I do, all the time. I bet you didn't know that, did you? All right, thanks, Astor. We appreciate it.
Cecilia Vega, who joins us live from the Beverly Hilton Hotel in Los Angeles. Cecilia?
Yes, good morning, George. It happened here at 3:43 yesterday afternoon when a member of Houston's entourage located her body inside this hotel. So far, police and the coroner are refusing to offer details about what may have caused her tragic death. Exactly what happened inside the iconic Beverly Hilton remains a mystery. Paramedics raced to the 4th floor and found a lifeless Whitney Houston inside her hotel room bathtub. They tried in vain to resuscitate her with CPR.
At 3:55 p.m. this afternoon, Whitney Houston was pronounced dead at the Beverly Hilton Hotel.
The scene inside her room was chaotic. ABC has learned it appears members of Houston's entourage found her unresponsive body and called hotel security. But just about a half hour earlier, Houston's mother, Sissy, reportedly spoke to her daughter and said nothing was out of the ordinary. Houston's cousin, Dionne Warwick, also reportedly spoke to her over the phone earlier in the day and said everything seemed fine. Houston was staying at the hotel to attend music industry executive Clive Davis's annual pre-Grammy Bash. It is the same event where she was introduced to the record industry nearly 3 decades ago. Hours after her death, the party still went on, but the scene was surreal. The Beverly Hills Crime Lab parked outside. Paparazzi camped out waiting for Houston's body to emerge. Inside, a star-studded lineup of speeches and songs. Her final days were marked by questions about her sobriety. Houston's stay at the Beverly Hilton involved heavy partying, according to news reports, and then early Friday morning, what would become Houston's final performance. She sang a duet with Grammy nominee Kelly Price at a party at a Hollywood nightclub. Houston was there with her daughter having a good time. But after cheers on stage, these photos of the disheveled, bloated, and agitated Houston leaving. She reportedly had blood dripping down her leg, scratches on her wrist, and had to be escorted from the club. But the people who knew her said she was simply sweating from her performance.
There was nothing wrong. There was nothing wrong. She was singing. She was dancing. She was laughing. She was playing. I'm going to remember her just like that because that's the Whitney that I always had the pleasure of being around.
The pop superstar would be dead the next day. Now, one report says Whitney Houston was found with prescription drugs inside her room here at the Beverly Hilton and that she may have drowned in the bathtub. Whatever happened, the coroner says if an autopsy is performed, it could be a day or two before that's done. Robin?
And until then, we just don't know. Cecilia, thank you.
So it's Hustle are in a state of shock today. They are mourning the hip-hop star's ultimately and violent death. Nipsey Hussle was murdered in broad daylight outside a clothing store that he owned in South Los Angeles, and he was killed just before he was about to meet with city leaders and the LAPD about reducing gang violence.
He is someone who put our community on the map. People thought that our community was just about violence, and Nipsey put a change to that, and he let them know that even though we're from underprivileged communities of poverty, that we can still become something.
Social media has been flooded with tributes. Here's a tweet from Issa Rae. Watching Nipsey inspired me to invest and own in our communities. He was a solid man who loved his woman, his family, and his community. This hurts. Atlanta-based DJ Headcrack, co-host of the Ricky Smiley Morning Show and Dish Nation, is with me now. And Headcrack, thank you for taking a minute with me and just talking about this man that was so beloved. I mean, it's a huge loss for the rap and hip hop community. He wasn't, just a rapper. He left this huge social footprint in his hometown of South LA, investing his time and his money back in the community. Tell me what you know of him and what impact he had on you.
I mean, at the end of the day, there's very few situations where someone's music actually transcends music, Nipsey Hussle's raps and rhymes weren't just words. They were like a call to action for people who listen. And, and you saw it in the tweets and some of the posts that people said. It made people want to do better in their own communities. I mean, you're talking about a brother right here who had the opportunity to leave the area of Crenshaw and Slauson we grew up at. And no, he kept his businesses right there. He was buying up properties on the block, and he was trying to teach and empower people to do the same thing in their respective neighborhoods all around the world. And that is something that, people don't necessarily walk away from business school with, So like investing into yourself and your own community. And he was a big advocate of that.
This is a guy who, I've just spent my morning reading all about him, started a STEM program for inner city kids, owned multiple businesses where he hired people in the community, was involved in rebuilding projects, in the South LA area. And he said he grew up in gang culture, but that he turned his life around and tried to help others do the same. And I know your son actually got to meet him in Atlanta at one of his pop-up shops. Can you tell me what that was like for him?
My son was completely over the moon when he went to Nipsey Hussle's pop-up shop, because the type of guy that Nipsey was, he wanted to press the flesh. He wanted to meet the fans and give that love back to the people that showed him love. My man has done things in the culture that you've never seen done before. He had an album that he was selling for $100 a pop, only made like 1,000 copies of it, and people bought them. Jay-Z, I think, bought 100 copies of it. And that's just, that's amazing. Who else was doing that? And my son took a picture with Nipsey Hussle, and he was so frustrated that, he had a stupid expression when he took the photo, but he was still excited that he got a chance to meet his legend. Yeah. And the cool, connectivity point was that was a rapper that we both liked. That's where we're at within the culture, where, parents and kids are sometimes vibing to the same artist. And y'all did. That's rare.
He was also a family man. He just had this baby boy with actress Lauren London. They were both profiled in the March issue of GQ. Lauren's well known for her role in the classic film ATL. For people who don't know who this man is or was, how do you think he should be remembered?
I think he should be remembered as a visionary.
Rap singer Eazy-E has lost his battle with AIDS just 10 days after revealing that he had the disease. The 31-year-old rapper died last night in a Los Angeles hospital. He was hospitalized last month for what he thought was asthma and said that he did not know how he contracted AIDS. Eazy-E, whose real name was Eric Wright, was a founding member of the band NWA. The band practically originated the hardcore style of gangster rap and was a huge influence in the rap community.
In Hollywood. Tonight, a rapper is in critical condition.
It happened just after 1 this afternoon in front of the Lowe's Hotel at the Hollywood and Highland complex.
And CBS 2's Dave Lopez is live in Hollywood with more information. Dave.
Right in front of where that shooting took place, we can't tell you the rapper's real name is Adolph Thornton. He comes out of Memphis. He's been a big star on the rap scene since 2014. He goes by the name of Young Dolph is his rapper name. He is in critical condition, according to the LAPD, but not life-threatening injuries. He apparently is either still in surgery or about to get out of surgery after being shot numerous times in the upper body right across the street, and they say it could go connected to a feud that rap groups are having, the feud that goes all the way back to February.
Everybody screaming gang.
This is 32-year-old rapper Young Dolph, whose latest album is entitled Bulletproof, and one of the songs on that album, 100 Shots. And detectives say just before 1 o'clock this afternoon, he was shot. Detectives say 3 men approached him right in front of Lowell's Hollywood Hotel today, where all 4 were guests. There was a fight. Young Dolph fell to the ground, and that's when one of the 3 suspects opened fire. No idea what the altercation was about, what the verbal fight was about?
Not at this point. It just sounds like it escalated from a back and forth sort of argument.
7 months ago in North Carolina, after a concert, Young Dolph had his SUV shot up. Police say nearly 100 bullets were fired into his SUV. He was not in it. Allegedly, there was a feud with another rapper. Detectives say much of what happened today is all caught on security cameras from the hotel. After Young Dolph was shot, he staggered into this nearby shoe store, and the three suspects fled on foot, even though they arrived, according to police, in this gold-colored SUV. Was the victim armed?
No, not that we're aware of. We haven't found a handgun. Nobody said he was armed. Video surveillance does not show that.
Police say the three suspects are still on the loose. However, about 2 blocks away from the shooting, they did detain 3 men. 2 of them, we are told, have been released, but this man remains in police custody and is still being questioned. The shooting occurred just off Hollywood Boulevard, near the intersection of Hollywood and Highland, where tourists flocked by the thousands. Again, no one else was shot except the rapper, and 3 suspects remain on the loose. Detectives just confirmed me that Young Dolph was going into the hotel when he was confronted by these 3 men who happen to be, in their words, a rival group in the rap world. Again, they would not give us details how this and the shooting back in the Carolinas is connected, although they say they are looking at the possibility that the 2 are related. They would not give any other details other than the fact that even though he's listed as critical, he's expected to survive the number of shots that he took. Back to you in the studio.
The Memphis police chief is asking everyone to stay home tonight after rapper Young Dolph is gunned down and killed at a South Memphis cookie shop.
There will be extra police presence in many parts of the city that might have a connection to the popular rapper to make sure there is no more violence. Hello, I'm Greg Hurst.
Hi, I'm Stephanie Skurlock. Adolph Robert Thornton Jr., known as Young Dolph, rose to fame mixing tapes and was soon hitting the national music charts.
His death attracted a large crowd to the cookie store on Airways Boulevard, many frustrated and angry that this could happen here. Tonight, we have Team 3 coverage of that shooting, the investigation, and the impact he had on music and the community.
WREG's Melissa Moon begins our Team 3 coverage live from the crime scene on Airways, where police are still searching for evidence. Melissa.
Boarded up the windows of this business that were damaged or shattered by gunfire. Police are asking for calm as they investigate this murder. That was my man. Like, why y'all go take him with me? An 11-year-old fan and aspiring rapper heartbroken over Young Dolph's death. Malik Woodoff says his son was going to be in a video with Dolph.
It's a sad thing, man. You know, it's a hard pill to swallow.
Lots of fans flooded Airways trying to get close to the crime scene. The crowd and cars at times too much for police. Police say Young Dolph was inside Makita's around 12:30 in the afternoon Wednesday when he was gunned down. Police Chief C.J. Davis says they are still talking to witnesses and checking cameras in the area that might have captured the crime, but couldn't say what the shooting was about.
This was a shooting that occurred at a cookie shop, and we're just not sure what that motivation was, and it's a little bit too early for us to tell.
I really thought he would never come back to Memphis. Memphis got a lot of haters.
Police provided an escort complete with sirens and lights for the tow truck driving away Young Dolph's signature camo-covered Lamborghini. The city's top cop says this is another example of the senseless violence plaguing the city and nation.
Our hearts go out to the Thornton family and all who are affected by this horrific act of violence. We are committed to working with the community to stop these senseless murders. We're also dedicated to bringing those responsible for today's shooting and others to justice.
And again, Police Chief Davis does not want to see any retaliation and is asking for calm as they investigate this case. If you have any information that can help police or urge a call Crime Stoppers at 901-528-CASH. Along Airways tonight, Melissa Moon, WREG, News Channel 3.
It's time to vent and get it off your chest, brothers and sisters, with the latest episode of the Vent Session on the Sister Speak Show. Episode 4, Don't Join the Circus. In this episode, boundaries, cutting people off who keep dominating you. Boosie, he said what he said. What's the next question? Solo shifts, I won't be able to meet any of your expectations. Driving, why is your license cutting up in school? Lace Candy, in love with the enemy. There are other episodes available on demand on the Vent Session. You will enjoy each one because we want to be the flavor in your ear. Each episode is rated R for strong content, language, and thoughts for all shades of brown people. It's time to podcast and chill with the Sister Speak show, where contemporary meets vision, sound, and action. Click the link for the latest episode. The season of you being prey has come to an end. Family, friend, foe versus your freedom. What are you going to choose? The latest episode of the Vent Session on the Sister Speak show is available on demand now. Episode 2, Stop Being Weak. We're covering haters in your life. Why are they howling at you? Car chases. Let me out the car. This doesn't taste good. Where's the original recipe? Protecting adulterers. Why are your people scanless? Rent, utility, and food relief. Learning how to ask for help and people who don't help. The Sister Speak show, where contemporary meets vision, sound, and action. A talk show for great minds that create, inspire, impact, and evolve. Click the link for the latest episode. Warriors, mount up. When it comes to being a rap lyricist, what sets you apart is your ability to be able to freestyle on demand. If you can't freestyle, you can't rap. The latest episode of the tour on the Sister Speak show is available on demand now. In this episode, beatdowns versus bars, when freestyle battles turn violent. Rated R for strong content and language. On the tour, we cover all aspects of the music industry, focusing on musicians, managers, songwriters, producers, music groups, DJs, with exclusive music as well as concert reviews and IG Live concerts and interviews. On the Sister Speak show, where contemporary meets vision, sound, and action. A talk show for great minds that create, inspire, impact, and evolve. Go ahead and click the link for the latest episode. Welcome back. You are listening to the tour where we are covering all aspects of the music industry. I'm your host, Sister Speaks. So, yeah, you all heard the clips. And the thing about it is my listening audience, the age range it's pretty far spread out. So some of you knew about these specific artists and some of you didn't. But the whole point of it is you heard the news clips, right? You listened to Tupac, Biggie, Aaliyah. You heard everything about Left Eye, Whitney. You heard about Eazy-E. Who else did you all hear about? You heard about Young Dolph. I mean, it goes on and on. These aren't just the only high-profile murders or deaths that have occurred in the music industries, but I felt led to just have these specific images before you because I wanted to, number one, and because there's enough news information out there to where people are still maybe speculating or still trying to figure out what really happened. You have investigative journalists and you have people who are into, crime solving, whether they actually have a platform or not. People who did not idolize these specific people, but yet and still were concerned and raised an eyebrow when they heard about the circumstances of their death. Maybe felt like there was a cover-up. Maybe that there was some corruption. Whatever it was, it leads one to say with these specific deaths and murders, what really happened? And that is the birth of how many people get into, investigating and being a detective and a high profile detective, being dedicated to wanting to literally solve these murders, right? Or these deaths. And you have people who are actually invested into doing it righteously and not, right? You have people who can get recklessly on a microphone and or do a video about
a high profile murder or death and just really drop the ball. They're reckless with their form of entertainment, because I really don't consider it to be education. And you have to be able to weed those people out. But there are a group of people who are genuinely called to be on the microphone and in front of a camera, trying to figure out what's really going on, trying to really help resuscitate these cold cases, actually being able to provide information that a major, not task force, but a major agency who is on the case may have overlooked. And that's where the term remote surveillance comes into play, where they will look at certain platforms and gain wisdom and insight into a high profile murder case. Now let's just go ahead and get into it. The price of fame is high, and you do not reach certain levels without meeting certain devils and doing what certain devils want you to do. It is an enter at your risk industry. I said that at the beginning. If you choose to enter at your own risk, then there's no need to be shocked about what may or may not occur, what may occur. The spirit of arrogance is real. The spirit of vanity is real. The spirit of jealousy is real. Gluttony, the spirit of wanting to have everything in this material world is real. And there are some people who do not want anything else than just what the material world brings them. That is what their eyes are set on. That is their prize, so to speak. This is their goal, and that is their pinnacle, their zenith. And they will do anything to get there. There are some people who actually are not aware that they have entered at their own risk. And then they are met with, so many dark energies. And they have to compromise their soul. They have to give up who they are. That is the trade. The question that many should ask is, why is it that your soul is the requirement? Why? What is it? Now, a man will lose his own soul to profit the world. What is the profit? Okay? Now, many are put in a position of, do I go through this door or do I go through that door? Do I compromise my dignity, my integrity, my name, my image? How far am I going to let myself go? When you are boisterous, eccentric, flashy, when you are a household name, you're going to have haters automatically. People are not going to like you, and people are going to like you. The people who don't like you, there's different categories of why they don't like you. Okay? Now, there are some people who don't like you to the point that they're willing to actually take you off the face of this earth. They want you out of here, gone. Your presence irritates them. It vexes them. Your notoriety, your status, your money, the women in your life, the men, whatever it is that you have that they don't have or don't have as much of, they don't like you. And they want your spot. Not their spot. They want your spot. They feel if they knock you off of your spot, that then they will inherit what was never meant for them to have. Silly of them. Some will go through different lengths to knock you off the face of this earth. It doesn't always have to be a bullet. It doesn't always have to be a knife. It could be poison. It could be voodoo. Spell work. Premeditated. Seething. Loathing you. Green. Mad at your existence and the fact that they can't have your spot. That's an example. Now, because of the street beef, because of the back and forth, because of the not being able to shut the fuck up, you are now entering into a ring of, we're going to have to duke it out. And it's not always fist to fist. Sometimes it is just the bullet, the gun. It's the jumping sometimes. There is some type of violence that will occur. And sometimes the violence is often. Sometimes there are several reports of a said artist getting into an altercation or having some type of violent incident occur. We're not blind to this. If you are literate, you know what's up. If you watch videos, you know what's up. You're aware, you listen to the lyrics, you know about local beef, you know about national beef, you know about international beef that's going on. So when the haters are, mounting up, hold on, my earpiece is about to fall. Excuse me, y'all. When the haters are growing or mounting up, whether this be one or some, it makes you have to move differently. You cannot just go around town skipping and saying la 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 la. Now there's some real shit out here and they want your head. There's a bounty for your head. And so you can't just move around how you want to. That's why there's always bulletproof vests. But I just find it so why is the bulletproof vest is one thing, but I guess it's too square to wear a bulletproof helmet. I guess it is, because it's like, okay, you're going to protect your heart, but what about your head? And there's a spiritual protection of your head as well as a physical protection of your head. And the spiritual protection of your head is that wisdom, right? It's that helmet of salvation that gives you the discernment on how to move, where to go, where not to go, who to be around, who not to be around. You ain't always got to be out in the midst of the limelight, knowing how to, stay home. But I understand because of the type of career that these artists possess, that they're always having to be somewhere at some time doing something. And of course, the game is don't slip, don't get caught slipping. But we see that they do. And all the clips that I played doesn't necessarily mean that they got caught slipping. There are just various reasons, but in totality, you have to move differently. And it's your hometown where you have no honor. They really don't like you. It's not all the time that the hometown is going to celebrate you, especially if there's niggas in the hometown. If there's niggas in the hometown, man, and these niggas want your spot, ooh, shit, it's real in the field. How dare you make it out of the hood? How dare you come back to the hood? And then you coming back to the hood and we know it's you. You never know what type of stuff somebody is really tied into. All you see is a snippet, but the Most High God sees it in totality. And they're off into some shit, allegedly, most of the time. And a lot of the things I'm saying are alleged, but they're still facts. Okay? So, having to move differently because somebody wants your head is some serious tension. Okay? You're getting into some shit and retaliation is coming. You just don't know when, but you know it's coming. You know it's coming. These niggas is looking for you. You said something on the mic, they don't like it. They see you on TV, they don't like it. You got an award, they don't like it. You got all the women, they don't like it. They don't like the fact that you got and I'm using this for music industry terms, that you got the bitches and the riches. They want that. How dare you have that? Give it to me. Okay? And because these are celebrities that a lot of people know about, it's high profile. And sometimes you don't know who the shooter is, allegedly. But somebody knows. They know. Somebody knows. But because of this whole, this street code of snitches get stitches, these cold cases are cold. But not really. People know what happens. Whether it's Pac or Biggie, that's what it was, Biggie. You're looking at Biggie and it's like, damn, he knew something was up. I told y'all, when he came to Cali, my homegirl and I, we went to go meet him. And the tension was thick. He was not in a high vibrating energy. How can you be when you know you're getting death threats? When niggas are saying, when I see you, nigga, it's a wrap. That you got to perform at this concert or that concert. You got to go to this venue, got that this venue, that venue. You have to go to this airport, that airport. You know, you moving and grooving city to city. The shit is real. And you can't necessarily be sitting there talking about, yeah, everything is all gravy. Nah. When you can feel, if you can feel the spirit of death around you, you can feel that dark energy around you. You can feel the energy of trouble looming if you're tapped in. And then here it is, you got to go to a place where everybody knows you're going to be at. Because you have to do it. It's a part of the contract. And you're also trying to not seem like you're a sucker. You're trying to stick to the code that you're a real G, that you're a real gangster, that you bout it, that you, all this shit, trying to hold this machismo up when you really want to stay the fuck home. When you really don't feel like going out. But your career, your high profile career calls for you to be on the scene, at the scene, in the scene. And there it takes place. The murder scene. Sitting in the car, pull up, allegedly, and let loose. Die at the hospital. Cedars-Sinai in LA has seen so many celebrities come through those emergency room doors. And it's like, damn, can I go anywhere and be at peace, have harmony, tranquility? What is it about my life that I can't catch a peaceful break? And that's when you have to consider, do I want to stay in this or do I want to get out? And I feel like the music industry is one of them things where, like, you got to get jumped out. You don't walk away just walking away all the time. However, with the Most High God and Yah, all things are possible. I don't want to discourage anybody, but if you're caught into some shit, you know, it's like if you've ever had a knot and you need to get the knot out, you know, getting a knot out or anything that's tangled, it's just not one thing where you could just snatch something and untangle it. Nah, you got to be careful. You got to be strategic. It's like trying to get rid of a bomb. Detonating it, trying to find the right wire because the time is ticking. You cannot pull the wrong wire. So it's really, being able to moonwalk on up out of there. Being able to get on up out of there saying, you know what, I'm cool. It's about how much are you willing to stay in chaos, calamity. You go to make a music video and you're just trying to board to get back home and then the plane crashes. What the hell happened that day? Allegedly too much weight on the aircraft. And it wasn't really, it's one of those crop dusters. It's a small plane. I've been on one of those before. It's one of those planes where it's like, fuck, this thing shouldn't even be in the air. This shit should really be on the freeway. You feel me? Like real shit. Like if you've ever been in a small plane, you don't want to talk to nobody. You holding your breath while saying all kind of prayers. You repenting for shit that you did do and didn't do. It is not a real vibe. That is like it has propellers. Shit. You get on a plane with propellers. Damn, am I on the first plane ever made? Like, what is this? The first time I got on one of them small planes, the waitress got on there and was like, not the waitress, excuse me, the stewardess was like, okay, what are you doing serving snacks? Why do you even have this cart on the plane? You could had a cart, ma'am. You could have thrown this from the cockpit. You could have just thrown us everything that we was going to snack on. And then the pilot said the most disrespectful shit I felt in my life at that time. He said, we're flying 30,000 feet for fucking what? Why are we this high in the air, sir? This is some bullshit. My dad, R.I.P., at the time he was loving it because he did a tour of Vietnam and he was in the helicopters. So shit like that didn't bother him. Daddy, I didn't go to Vietnam. I was still in your testicles, sir. How is it that you got me on this crop duster? My mom was pissed. Oh, see, my mom is the queen of the silent treatment. A little bit of narcissistic personality disorder, if you ask me. She's the queen of the silent treatment. She knows how not to talk to you. She will cut you clean the fuck off. She's not going to talk to you till she feels like it. Ain't no budging or pudging. When she doesn't want to talk, that's her way of letting you know you done fucked up in some way, shape, or form. She did not talk to my daddy. He kept on trying to be, you know how you be trying to get somebody to talk because you know you fucked up, like trying to point out shit that they see. Hey, baby, you see that cloud? Motherfucker, I see that cloud. Hey, baby, you see that tree? Nigga, I see that damn tree. Don't you say shit to me. You know what I'm saying? My daddy was loving it. I probably died about 4 times. I fainted, came to, fainted, came to, dipping in turbulence, fainted, came to, all kind of shit. I knew it was a setup when we went to the end of the airport and had to walk to the plane. They were like, flight whatever is boarding now, and I'm like, where's the tunnel? Where's the bridge to get us into the no? What you mean we're going on the tarmac? What do you mean we're walking to the plane? Oh, hell no. When I tell you, never, ever, ever again will I get on one of them things. I pray to the Lord, my soul, to don't ever put me on one of them things again. So I can only imagine how that plane, if that is allegedly what happened, didn't have a chance. Aaliyah's plane did not have a chance to actually sustain itself in the air if it had that much weight to it. If that is what happened. If y'all. I'll never forget the day I got that news. We all who were there, alive at the time, who were tapped into who Aaliyah was, we will always remember that breaking news. Okay? We will always remember that. But what really happened? Why did they allow so much cargo on the plane? Was somebody insistent upon leaving? What happened that day? Lisa Left Eye Lopez, part of TLC, car accident. What happened? On her spiritual journey, healing, tapping in, manifesting, seeking peace, tranquility, and harmony. What happened? What happened? It's almost like you have to escape with your life from the demons, right? You're trying to escape because you might have seen too much, know too much, and you just want to have your mind be clear. So you seek solace like she did. What happened that day? What happened? I know it was a car accident, obviously. But what led to the car accident? What was going on 5 minutes before in all of these cases? 5 minutes before Tupac, 5 minutes before Biggie, 5 minutes before Aaliyah, 5 minutes before Lisa Left Eye Lopez, 5 minutes before Whitney Houston. She was good, she was laughing, she was dancing, and the next thing you know, she's dead. You know, like, they found pills. Okay, wait a minute. Too many fucking people in the room. Too much of an entourage. Too many people invested in your career that really don't give a fuck about you. And it gets to be suspect. Who are the people in your neighborhood is one of the things I'm going to always say. You got too many people around you. And sometimes you have handlers and enablers. And because they don't want to get cut off, and because they're intimidated by the power, and they don't want to, like I said, they don't want to get cut off, they enable. And they're intimidated to say something because this person is a celebrity and they're afraid to speak. They actually put themselves in a pseudo caste system where the celebrity is exalted and you being, I guess for lack of better terms, just regular, you cannot just speak to them any old kind of way, look at them any old kind of way. You have to bow down to them. No way, shape, or form. Fuck that. It's called idol worship. You better tap out of it. Because we're not to have any idols. You can like someone, but you cannot idolize them. That is where you lead yourself into the darkness, and you may sometimes not be able to escape. What happened? She drowned in a bathtub? What happened? How much water was in there? So she just slipped into a coma? What really happened and what really perturbed me was the fact that you get the death announcement and you still keep partying. Yeah. That's how they fucking feel about you. You know, it's one thing to do a tribute, but I kind of, just out of integrity, out of just being loyal to humanity, would have not gone on with the birthday party. But then again, everybody is not on that vibration to where they're considerate. I think it was poor taste and poor judgment to have continued on with that party, knowing what happened. And from what it sounded like, the singing was not necessarily up to par. And you guys probably maybe needed to have backed away from the microphone and kind of went into what is called like an homage, like maybe paying homage, but not homage through continuing to party on. That's so fucked up. You know what I'm saying? And then some people will say, oh, well, she would have wanted it this way. Now you care about what she would have wanted? And then her daughter fell asleep soon thereafter. Heartbreak, pain, maybe allegedly, maybe the same type of addictions, allegedly. However, what happened in that bathroom 5 minutes before? 5 minutes before what was going on. And you all who were there know, you can cover it up in the physical, but you weren't able to cover it up in the spiritual. And there lies the accountability and the blood on people's hands when they try to cover up or not give all of the detail out. Nobody escapes whatever happened. Nobody escapes the judgment and having to be held accountable 5 minutes before. Easy. What happened? Was it AIDS? How did you get it? What was going on 5 minutes before his death? Was there any confessions on the bed? Who did he get this from? How did he, out of everybody, and I'm not saying anybody else should have received AIDS, okay? That's the most highest judgment. I'm just saying, if y'all are having sex with the same groupies, allegedly, then it's just kind of weird to me. What was really going on? There are some theories about how he received AIDS, and I'll leave it at that. And you can do your own investigative journalism yourself to figure out what is what. But 5 minutes before his death, what was really going on? How did he contract this alleged virus? It's really, and it's really a lot of secrecy that goes on, and I'll say that. Now, and then you're dealing with, excuse me, the young lady that you see in the corner, that's Natanya Reed, excuse me, from the group Black. She allegedly was hit by a car in Atlanta at night, crossing the expressway, I believe. I didn't play her clip, but I know you see her picture, and I just wanted to know. You're like, who is that? Yeah. What happened 5 minutes before that led her to be out there in that environment at night to where she was hit? I'm just saying, you have to piece things together, and sometimes you can't rely on what you hear. You have to use discernment, and if something don't sit well with you, then more than likely something isn't sitting well. Okay? And then the last clip you heard with Dolph, you see that it's been hectic for him for a while. Okay, with the shootouts, the fights, this is some tension that's going way, way, way back. Where you heard he was shot in LA, critically wounded because of some type of rival rap beef. And then the most recent news, murdered in Memphis, his own hometown. A prophet is without honor in his own town. What happened? What really took place with this specific murder? Because the testimonies, the pseudo testimonies from the employees, owners, and those who are closely connected, something is off. And the world knows. And I say the world, and I say the world who is in tune with the music industry. Something is really, really suspicious about the accounts and what really took place. But the beautiful part about it is that you can run, but you cannot hide. You can lie all you want to. You can mix and match stories all you want to. You can threaten to do this and that to cover your track, but I'm telling you, you've already been exposed. Whoever you are that played a part in this, what appears to be organized crime, something went wrong, something is off, and you all know it. You know it. It's in your body language. It's in your energy. It's in your speech. It's in your facial expressions. It's written all over your entire energy that what was said versus what really took place is not lining up. And you will not show the footage of him inside of your shop. Yet the surveillance footage that was shown when he was shot in Los Angeles, clearly they said it shows him staggering. It shows the moments after him being shot. So the question on the hand is, where is the footage? That footage right there would really, now I'm saying the real footage, not the bullshit, doctored, photoshopped, my unupdated software app that I'm using to create this screenshot or still shot or whatever that is that's going around on the internet. I'm talking about the real footage, the authentic footage, the actual footage. Donde es? Where is it? There should be nothing but synchronized footage that shows exactly what happened, especially since you saw, I think I've heard you say justice for Dolph. I don't know though. But you move funny. And if it were not funny, many people in every state, because this man did have people who liked his music in every state. There are many people, news sources, and just regular music lovers who particularly were followers of this particular artist who don't believe what you are saying, and they are trying to put the pieces together because stories are off. Where is the consecutive footage that would denounce everything that you're saying? Because the video footage doesn't lie, or does it? You will not show what he was doing moment to moment. But there is footage of the robbery that took place allegedly in your shop. You have that footage. Where is the other footage? Why can't you at least show? I can understand not showing his dead body. That is respectful. That is integrity. But you need to show the moments of him coming in. You need to show the moment that there was an alleged ambush. You need to show what you're saying. You said that your father said, "Stay with me, Dolph." Now you said that wasn't your daddy. You thought it was your daddy. Then we hear that your stepdaddy works there. Who is your daddy? Who is the stepdaddy? Was your daddy with him or not? Did your father say that or not? You said that he said, "Stay with me, Dolph, stay with me." Who was that saying that then? Where is the footage of the immediate assistance to this man after he was shot? Where is the glass? Where is the blood? Who cleaned up the blood? What was going on in the bathroom? What's going on in the back door? Did he get shot at 12:30? Could you show that time stamped? Is there footage that would show that? These are the questions that you don't want those who are elevated in their thinking to ask. I guess you expect people to walk around being dumb. But something is off. But something is off. And as a result, that man is allegedly gone, dead. People going live. people moving funny, weird ass crime scene, weird ass police presence, just everything is not what I have been educated to understand of how a crime scene is supposed to be handled. For example, where I live, there was a crime scene the other day. I don't want y'all to be like, damn, where the fuck do you live? Listen to what I'm saying. Where I live down the street, okay, there was a murder, a fatality, and the crime scene was roped off. There were cop cars. There was a actual investigation. The forensics unit was there. There were people at the back of the building because somebody had driven their car through an establishment. And there was a fatality. And they were investigating the fatality. No one could go inside of the crime scene. It was roped off properly. These were actual police officers. I'm not saying that those weren't police officers allegedly. I'm just saying what I saw with this specific crime scene. And what I saw at the Dolph crime scene, tampering of evidence, rolling over evidence, too much, it was just very chaotic. And my thing about it is, in getting back to the prophet being without honor in his own home, it's you hating ass niggas that gotta go. I'm just gonna be real with you. You niggas really gotta go. You wasting time and space on this earth. Okay? If you ain't finna change, if you're not gonna repent, if you're not gonna get your shit together and stop being a fucking hater, then leave. Like, seriously, just keep taking a long walk off a short pier. No, I'm not condoning suicide, but what I'm saying is just go somewhere. Okay? Go somewhere. Because it's you niggas that make it so fucked up for regular people to move. For people who are super regular to move. You sit around seething, hating, sucking your teeth, acting like motherfucking chupacabras. Skeletors. Hating ass niggas. Don't want nobody to come up. Mad when somebody come up. Mad because somebody got more than you. Mad because somebody look better than you. Dress better than you. Sound better than you. Rock better than you. Whatever better than you. And you're a fucking hater. And so you do hating ass shit. You get on the gram hating, on Twitter hating, Facebook hating. You're just a fucking hater. As soon as you walk out the house, you're a hater. And so is your gun. I don't give a fuck what you got. I'm so tired of hearing the word Draco. I am so tired of hearing that word. You niggas is fucking... Are you niggas fucking your guns? Are you sticking your... Are y'all niggas fucking your guns? Y'all niggas is weird as shit. You're licking your guns. You're taking pictures with your guns. Is your gun your bitch? That's your bitch? That's your boo? That's your Bonnie? I'm serious. Like, you niggas is so fucking whack. Whack. Yes, this is a lot of code switching. I'm using a lot of code switching because I just got to keep it real. Hating ass niggas got to go. You micro hating ass niggas and you macro hating ass niggas. Let people shine. That's supposed to shine. If you're ashy, do something about it. It ain't our fault you ashy, nigga. Get moisturized. Get your shit together, you dry, ashy nigga. You fucking dehydrated ass nigga going around the village taking people out because of your fucked off low vibrating energy. Because you're jealous. Because your bars suck. Because nobody wants to hear that shit. A lot of you don't get it. Nobody wants to hear your shit. Nobody. Ain't nobody fucking with your shit. Ain't nobody finna buy your shit, stream your shit, download your shit. We don't want to view your shit. It is on accident that we run across your shit, that we may have to hear your shit. Run into a store or anything like that, they might be playing your shit. Pull up to the light, somebody might be bumping your shit, and the only person, and it's probably you. at the light, bumping your own shit, maybe one or two of your niggas, maybe a couple niggas off the block, but nigga, we don't listen to your shit. Why don't you just hang it up? Your whole rap name is fucked up. Everything is fucked up. When are you gonna get it? This ain't your lane. 'Cause you're insane. You inflict pain. I mean, I'm just asking you. Y'all thought I was going to keep going, right? I did too. And I was like, no, leave it right there. If you keep fucking freestyling, you may fuck it up. Leave it right there. You got the rhymes out. Don't go any further. If you go any further, they might pop off and they might actually leave the whole podcast. Just don't do it, Sister Speak. See how I know? See how I was able to hold my shit back? See how I knew that I could not continue rapping? I pray that you get that type of discernment. I pray that you are able to learn that this ain't for you. And your jeans are too tight, by the way. I have got to make this fucking disclaimer. Your jeans are too tight. I don't know who I'm speaking to, but I cannot do it. How the fuck do you walk, bend, anything, breathe, anything? You guys need Ministat. Women use Monistat. You niggas need Ministat. Your legs got a yeast infection. These tight-ass fucking jeans got to go. And then you got tight-ass jeans and you're a size 13 in shoe. Who? Why? ¿Por qué? Zapatos, muchos grande. Zapatos es mucho grande. No poquito zapatos, mucho grande zapatos. Yo no sé, pero yo no sé. Mira. I'm just asking. What did you say, Sister Speak? I just said that there's just big ass shoes. Just big shoes is too big. They ain't small. They really big shoes. Just why? Your whole rap outfit, you look like a fucking avatar. You guys don't get it. You are the biggest haters. Then you threaten people on the internet. You threaten people on Twitter. You get in people's DMs and you threaten them. You threaten people who are covering cases. You do all kind of shit. Look, check this out. I don't know if you need... No, I do know, because this is some remedial shit that... You're on some remedial shit. Don't do the shit and we won't cover the shit. I'll be right back after this commercial break. Stupid asses. Not asses. Stupid. Just estupido. Gosh, pinche cabrona. Brotherhood, sisterhood, leadership. Those are the qualities that you were looking for when you were joining. Not humiliation. The latest episode of The Culture Climate on the Sister Speak show is available on demand now. Rated R for strong content, language, and thoughts on this episode. Death before degree, hazing in fraternities and sororities. On The Culture Climate, we're covering what others are afraid to cover in the village, including controversial conversations, taboo subject matters, addressing the inner me's, exposing the enemies, interviews, audio from video clips, international, national, local news affecting the village. Click the link for the latest episode on the Sister Speak show, where contemporary meets vision, sound, and action, a talk show for great minds that create, inspire, impact, and evolve. Remember, you don't have to die to belong. Have you ever said something funny to someone and they responded with, you know what, I really needed that laugh? Well, that's what the Laugh Line is all about on the Sister Speak show, and the latest episode is available on demand now. Rated R for strong language and content. On this episode, we're covering Respect the Comedian. Was the late Paul Mooney the black sheep of comedy? And naturally funny rapper Plies. On the Laugh Line, we cover all aspects of comedy, classic and contemporary comedy audio clips, special guest comedians, comedy show reviews. You will not be disappointed, and you will definitely get the healing that your soul needs. On the Sister Speak show, where contemporary meets vision, sound, and action, a talk show for great minds that create, inspire, impact, and evolve. Click the link for the latest episode and get ready to have a good time, because it's time to podcast and chill.
Sis, we leave a week from today. Did you go online to KK Lachey and order your outfits? Because last time it was a cold girl summer for you. We can't have that happen this time. I'm just saying. I don't want you to be Keisha Killjoy because your outfits ain't popping. We gotta get you right. The shade. I'm just keeping it real, sis. The same summer, you had to drop it like it was warm because your knees were hurting. That's because I didn't stretch, sis. Anyways, I'm on KK Lachey right now. I just picked out my outfits. They're gonna have me looking so good in Jamaica. I'm gonna send you some screenshots. I gotta get back to work. A look, a feel, a vibe. The people all pause when you walk into the room. Your KK Lachey apparel is popping. Your vacation is lit and you're ready to turn up. Get these looks and more at kklachey.com.
Welcome back. You are listening. I did not hit my mic. Welcome back. You are listening to the Sister Speak show. You are listening to the tour where we cover all aspects of the music industry. I had to take a pause because I was about to pop all the way off. Let me explain something to y'all, and we're gonna wrap this up because I got a couple things I need to do. Check this out. Allegedly, there are rituals, there are sacrifices, and there are things you got to do to get into this music industry, and you don't elevate without having to do some things. Okay. This shit is real. The devil is real. If you don't think the devil is real, you're remedial. And he has rituals and requirements, allegedly, that you need to do in order to make it. Now, I'm going to be very blunt with you. Are you willing to be sodomized to be famous? Yeah, I asked you the question, are you willing to be sodomized? Are you willing to be humiliated? Are you willing to do some things and give up someone to get something? It's not worth it. But allegedly, that's just some of the things that allegedly occur. Some of them can't sleep at night because there's so many dark, demonic energies that are haunting them. They can't sleep because the music that they're tapping into and the chords they're tapping into and the things that they're doing before they get on that microphone is all ritualistic, allegedly. You see the symbols, you see the signs. There's just certain signs I'm not gonna hold up. Other people may hold them up. I'm cool. You may say it means one thing, but I don't agree because of the occultism that's attached to the music industry. It goes deep. It goes very deep. It goes so deep that you need to do your own research. You need to be aware of what you're listening to. Yeah, you may have to part ways with some music that you listen to. One thing that I've been doing as of recent is I have parted ways with a lot of music. And I'm now tapped into high vibration frequency sounds to recalibrate my mind, to renew my mind, to resuscitate my mind, rejuvenate my mind, restore my mind, to renew it, to replace it from where it was to what it needs to be, to heal my mind, to unlearn the cantations, the suggestive vibrations and energies, because all of us can fall victim to it. It's so easy, especially if you put earphones in. So it's like, sometimes the songs just keep popping up in your head. You have to be careful. Okay? Because some people they're not guarded. These high profile murders and deaths, they keep occurring. Okay? You know where you live about local murders that have not been solved that are tied to the music industry, right? But you also know that it has a lot to do with sometimes street beef or sheet beef, okay? And sheet beef is that sex beef, that setup chick that I'm having sex with the same man that you're having sex with or the same woman that you're having sex with, okay? Sometimes it's because they talk too much. Sometimes it's because of a fight. Sometimes it's because of just the status, the notoriety. Whatever it is, the spirit of murder is lurking. The spirit of death is lurking. Intoxication, heavy addictions, tapping into drugs that you should not be doing at all. I understand marijuana. Outside of marijuana, I don't know what you're doing. Okay? I understand some wine. you have to understand, like tapping into lean and all that other type of shit. You're just asking for the devil to come and give you a lap dance. You don't ever want it to be that you make a music video where you're giving the devil the lap dance. That is just the highest form of any day now, a dark energy is going to come and really, like you tapping it, like it's degrading, it's disrespectful. You're from the village. I'm looking at you and I'm just like, this is disgusting. But I'm just using that as a reference of how far it goes and how deep it goes and how much you have to do based on you wanting to stay relevant. But there's always somebody out there that does not want a high profile artist to stay relevant. And we heard these news clips this evening. I'm not saying that I am saying what I just said, but I will say this. Your entourage says a lot about you. And if you do get to be, or if you already are, of a high status, please don't be arrogant. Please don't try to act like you're God. Please don't sit here and make people do things or be subjected to things. Come on, Sister Speak. Subjected to things that take away their ability to use their free will. Don't play on the fact that you know that they are happy to be in the room. A lot of people are happy to be in the room. Very happy. They'll do anything to get in the room. And that's sometimes so they can execute the murder plot, allegedly. Do your own research. Don't ever just rely on the immediate. Go deeper. That's why I said you need scuba gear. Go deeper into it. Pray for wisdom. Pray for discernment. Pray that you be guarded. Protect your soul at all costs. The devil wants it. And what he's willing to give you for it is temporary and will be burned. It's not worth it. Keep learning the lessons. You see them, right? Each one of these news clips was a curriculum for Fair Use Act based on the Fair Use Act this evening. Brothers and sisters, the time has been well spent. I thank you so much for being a wonderful listening audience on the tour where we do cover all aspects of the music industry. Okay? I've got something to play for you. We'll be right back. I don't know why I feel like saying yay, yay. Oh my God. You've made it to the last part of the test, the season of drought, and you survived. You're going to pass this test. You're going to climb the mountain because on the other side of the mountain is peace, joy, tranquility, harmony, freedom. No longer are you going to have to be frustrated, wondering when is it going to happen? When is my breakthrough going to come? When is what I believe in going to manifest? How long do I have to sit here in hermit mode? How long do I have to sit here and pretend? Not much longer. You might as well go ahead and start getting your praise on now because permanent overflow is coming. You're closer to it than you think. Slingshot season. This is Sister Speak with a word of encouragement. Spiritual warfare is real, and it is slingshot season. That's right. You are prepared for this. It is time for you to defeat the bears, the lions, and the giants in your life. You are stronger than what you think, and when you are chosen, you are anointed. No longer can you operate in the spirit of fear, and no longer can your boundaries be attacked. Carnal weapons produce carnal results. Spiritual weapons produce spiritual results. Get your smooth stones and your slingshot ready, because being victorious and more than a conqueror is a part of your lineage. Because our cousin David was about that life. Your enemy's plans are deterred, decapitated, and destroyed. Be encouraged. No weapon formed against you shall prosper.
This is Sister Speak with a word of encouragement. No matter what the enemy or enemies try to do to you, God will cause their plans to take no effect, and the pit that they dig for you, they shall fall in. If God be for you, who can be against you? Now say it with me. No weapon formed against me shall prosper. Be encouraged.
Brothers and sisters, I thank you so much for listening to this episode. I want you to protect yourselves, your mind, your soul, what you allow into your energy field. Please stay away from the dark. Please denounce your allegiance to the dark. Please do not take your musical gifts and use them for evil. Please take your musical gifts and use them for righteousness. It is okay to walk away now. You owe no one but yourself and the Most High God and Yah. Please do not allow yourself to have to get shot several times in order for you to wake up. However, if you do get shot and survive, wake up, come forth. It's a blessing to survive. Not everyone gets to survive. Not everyone gets to stay or gets to experience the heart monitor. Sometimes they make it to ICU and they don't make it out. Sometimes they die on the scene. The devil is no joke. Being a high-profile celebrity is no joke. No privacy. All on Front Street for the world to see. Being able to seek solace is a blessing. Stop trying to tap into the dark side and stop trying to cheat your way through this industry, whether you be mainstream or independent. You're not prepared for what the devil and his demons have for you. So you can go ahead and get your soul out of the box and you can cancel that garage sale. Because if you sell your soul, you deem it to be invaluable. Because if you understood the value of it, you would never sell it. Until we speak again. Weeping may endure for a night, but joy comes in the morning. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me, thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. Thou preparest a table before me in the presence of my enemies. You anoint my head with oil, my cup runneth over. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever. The Lord is my rock, my fortress, and my deliverer, my God, my rock, in whom I take refuge, my shield, and the horn of my salvation, my stronghold. I'm divinely protected, and so is my listening audience. I return to sender all black magic, spell work, voodoo, juju, evil eye magic, mirror magic, death spells, heart attack spells, stroke spells, curse my money spells, stop my career spells, conflict spells, All of that I return to sender, and I mirror it back into your bosom 100-fold, and it has an adverse effect into your bosom immediately. My listening audience is divinely protected, and so am I. Brothers and sisters, until I speak with you again, you be all right, all right? Take care, and you rest well, okay? You rest well, and when you go to sleep tonight, call back your energy and call back your power. When you wake up, call back your energy and call back your power. Pull your energy all the way back from the fuckery. Warriors, mount up.